ahead and change this photograph. Either you can upload from your computer, okay, or I can select an image I've already had on my computer. I have a slew of different images that I've used before. I always like to use people's faces. I think that attracts others. So I'm going to reposition the frame like that. So this whole area involves your photographs or your video. You can either upload one from your computer, select an image that's already in your Facebook photo library, and here you can reposition your photograph. And there you see the finished product. That's the desktop view. Here's the view on somebody's telephone, and if they have it set up for all of their ads to come up in the right-hand column of their Facebook page, then it would look like this. Down here is where we're going to select our audience. This is my favorite part, because one of the things that I want to do when I spend money is make sure that my money is targeting exactly the people who would be most interested in what we do, right? There are not that many 18-year-olds who are interested in learning how to play bridge, so I try to keep my target audience more in line with what I would expect. I go a little lower than actually most people would recommend. I probably can imagine you're thinking 45, 46 is good, but we could get a couple of stragglers who are 36 and younger, entry-level bridge players, and then of course after that, age doesn't matter. Once I've picked up my age range, I could pick up the gender, and here we want both men and women, so we're going to leave that as all. I'm going to target people specifically in my area. So our club is in Syosset, New York. Notice how the computer automatically picks up an entire area of people to attract. But unfortunately, this doesn't work for me, right? Because I'm not going to get people who are coming from Connecticut to come through New York and cross 3 bridges to get to me. So that's not necessarily going to work, but I've got the map to at least come up closer to where I want, and now I'm going to X out and delete that, and I'm going to drop a pin specifically where my club is. And now I've got a tighter circle. And let's say I want to get these people here. I can drop another pin, and it will make another circle. And now I'm targeting just the exact audience of people that I would want nearest me. Now, if you didn't want to do that, if you felt, well, you know, on the South Shore, most people maybe couldn't afford to play bridge more regularly, or it would cost them $10 to cross a bridge to come see me, you could actually target specific areas. Okay? And you could type in up to as many towns as you want, and you can target audiences in specific places. All right? Now that we've figured out what gender, age group, and areas we want to target, now we're going to tell Facebook how to find the right people for us in these parameters. One of the obvious things is to type in the word bridge. That way, anytime somebody has looked up something about bridge on Facebook or typed into their daily posts, gone to play bridge today, something to that effect, this spider algorithm will go and find them, and if they meet all of the other criteria that we're putting in here today, our little ad will pop up in their newsfeed. So bridge is a good one. Duplicate bridge is another good one. Some of these actually exist already. Believe it or not, people who play bridge also like to play tennis and golf. They like to play mahjong. And mahjong you'll have to type in a few different ways because it's spelled a few different ways. Let's see here. That's not one of them then. I think one has two G's. Oh, no, I guess it is only one way now. All right. People who play bridge also like to play other card games like hearts. And they like to play euchre and spades. Right, all trick-taking games. So I try to fill up the interest areas as much as possible so that I get people who like to play games, puzzles, to look at their screen and maybe click on my ad as a call to action. Crossword is a good one too. Now they're starting to suggest words for us that they think will work. Okay. All right. Once I've done all of this, I'm going to choose the duration of time that I want my ad to run. Now it gives you 1, 2, and 3 weeks, but I could actually add as much time as I want. I could say, let's have this ad go until the end of May. Okay? And then I'll hit promote. Now, before I do that, I'd have to decide how much would I want to spend every day? How much is this worth to me? And the answer for it really is determined by each individual club and how much they want to spend. You could spend more or you could spend less. Right? You could even start with $1 a day. Note here it says actual amount spent daily. It says when your ads have more opportunities to get results, you may spend more than your daily budget, and you'll spend up to $1.25 on some days and less on others. So this chosen amount is somewhat the average of what you'd like to spend, and they're not going to go too far away from that. I've run ads for about 4 weeks and have spent about $150 in that time, and I target my ads specifically to run concurrent for events that I'm having, like a new bridge learning course that's going to start. Before I go further, does anybody have any questions in each individual area of the screen that we've already discussed?
No, I feel it's been crystal clear so far.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Okay. So rather than taking, or the next step would obviously be to hit promote and pay. You'll have to, the first time you do this, they will ask you for a form of payment, and there are 2 options. With Facebook, you can either link a PayPal account or a specific credit card to Facebook, and then they will only use that for everything that you promote. You can also pause any promotion at any time. So if you decided that you wanted to do something and after a week or so you thought, wow, this class is filled up already and I just don't want to see myself spending another $90 because the class is full, you can pause that promotion and or shut it down completely and reactivate it when you want to at another time. I want to show you a promotion that I did and what I got back from it. So here is Learn to Play Beginner Bridge on Long Island. This is one of the promotions that I did, I believe, in November. Okay, and note that I reached 4,578 people in the specific demographics that I wanted. Right? I'll look at my results here. Hopefully. It doesn't want to show me the results. Let me see if I can restart that.
Hey, Silvana, this is Darby, everybody. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how you said you reached 4,578 people in your target, audience. I think that is so critical to point out, because when we place an ad in a newspaper or, we hang a flyer on a bulletin board, we don't know who exactly is seeing our ad. And so the idea that we can we can target this to people who have the greatest chance of being interested in playing bridge, I think is what makes Facebook advertising such a powerful tool.
I will tell you something. It has been the greatest marketing tool that I have used in the last 7 years. I used to teach or start a new bridge class once in the fall and once in the spring every year, the first 3 or 4 years that our club was opened. And I would put ads in all of the local patches or the small town newspapers. I would send out mass emails to the database that the ACBL would give me, and then I would put flyers in the club. And if I got 10 to 12 people to sign up, it was a lot. And I just felt like I just didn't know how to go out and get anybody anymore. And I went to a networking meeting, and they talked about how to do social media and bring that into your marketing programs, and I tried it out, and the difference is remarkable. The last class that we started had 36 people, and almost every one of them was reached this way. No one knew someone else who played bridge. No one was a friend of somebody who played at the club or was an ACBL member. So this is an amazing way to kind of come outside of our circle to reach people who would be interested. You see this line here? There's a darker orange and a lighter orange. Oh, here it is. The black box kind of popped up and it showed us that. I paid for 4,324 of the people that saw my ad, and 254 of them were organic. So if I didn't pay this small $140 to go out and reach these people, and I just placed the ad on my page like I would normally do or make a post, I would have only reached 254 people. So I'm gaining tenfold, actually 20-fold in return, and it's a very small investment. If you take this number and you divide it by $150, you'll see that I paid pennies on the dollar, and everybody I reached was in my demographic, right? The right age group, near me, has an interest in playing games, okay? So I'm turning over people much faster. Let's see if I can review the results and see them a little bit better. It wasn't working before, but we're going to try it again. It doesn't seem to work. Okay. Let's try it one more way. All right. See this area up here, this bar that says page, messages, notifications, insights? Insights is where you go to see all of your information. How many people were looking at your page, how many people clicked on something that you offered, how many people came in and liked your page, and so forth. Now, I haven't actually used Learn to Play Bridge on Long Island, this actual page, since November, so I'm even surprised to find anybody on here in the last 7 days. But I can switch this and look at some of the older times. Let's see. Last 28 days, a little bit more. Look at that. I had 107 people come in here from January 20th to February 16th. That's fun. I didn't even know that. All right. So here are the ads that I placed, and I want to show you. This is where you manage all of your ads, and it tells you the date that you published it and which campaign I used, and it also says what kind of campaign I used. And note that I chose to do it a few different ways to see if there was anything different depending on what I was sending out to people. So if I sent out a status post, which is the one that I just showed you before, this is the kind of return that I got. This, by the way, is how many women and how many men engaged in my post and how much I paid. And These two I have less on because as I did them, I actually shut them down pretty quickly because I realized I had some going concurrently and I didn't need to do 2 ads. But note, this ad and this ad are the same, and instead of using a status type promotion, I promoted a photo, and I got just about, I got even more then for just a little bit less. So I found that these two options work the best. I also have learned, this is the second year I'm doing this, I've learned that if I put a call to action, an actual link in the verbiage, so that when they're done looking, they click into my page, and now they see and have the interest to play or learn how to play bridge, they have one more place to click, and then they come into an area on my website where they can book themselves into my class right from there. I find that if they have a quick and easy way to do this, that people make decisions very quickly, and I do get a lot more return. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yes.
Joanne.
Can you
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, I wanted you to explain a little bit more about why you thought the different statuses might yield the results that they did.
I didn't, at the time when I was choosing one over the other, I didn't know if they would yield a different results, but I thought it had no harm in trying to do both and see if there was a difference in the return. I do find that the time of the year may have been different, being that I did something in December as opposed to September. There is, and I don't know how it works in all of your clubs, but I find that there's a big push to learn bridge in late summer. So there is a great deal of people who either their kids go back off to college, or they're back from all of their vacations and they want to get back into their routine. So September, I definitely find that I would normally get more of a response. So I would say these were somewhat equal. But when I tried them, I was just trying to see if there was any difference, and I generally don't think there is. But you know, I should mention to you that now, instead of doing a new class once in the fall and once in this spring, because I could not get them to fill up enough, I'm running them every 8 weeks and getting anywhere between 20 and 36 people, new players, during those times. So these Facebook ads have completely changed the face of our learning program.
Okay, and did you come up with a stock photo, or did you design the photos and the banner? Did you design those yourself, or did you find those somewhere?
Those are my photos. They're taken off of our website.
Okay, thank you.
CBL has a wonderful website of resources where you can get stock photos that are legal to use by the ACBL. Like, see this photo here, that's me and one of my players, so that's not an ACBL photo. This happened to be one that I got online, and so far no one has given me a hard time about it. But let me go to the photos, my photo library, and I'll show you some of the stock photos that you can get from the ACBL directly. I'm just going to go back into one of these so I can pick a photo.
And if you guys aren't familiar, the website to get to these photos is acbl.org/resource center, and you can click on clubs, and then it's under the clip art section, and there's a variety of images there.
Let me see if I can, I may not have loaded them onto the site. You know what I did? I loaded them onto the other site. Let's try it there. Nope, they're still not there. Let's see if I can find them for you. You know what I could do? I'll show you on my website. These are our club players. Okay, so these are stock photos you can get on the ACBL website. Okay, and that's where I got them from. And my plan was to replace them with my own players at some point, but they were available to me, and why not use them? And what's wonderful about the resource at the ACBL is that you can not only just pick pictures of people playing bridge, you can get people's hands, the cards, the bidding boxes, all different types of pictures that you may or may not want to use. Any other questions in regards?
Yes.
Go ahead, tell me.
This is Joanne Newby. And we used this 2 months ago, and we got some response, like 40 people. But then how do we follow up with it?
When you got, okay, so your response is that you're getting, they're not actually coming, they're posting on your site. Is that what you're saying?
They're showing interest in it, and how do we follow through?
That's what I was mentioning before. You have to have some kind of call to action. So, like when you want to book a class with our club, it's independent of me. You don't have to do anything but come in and sign up for classes. So here are our class schedule, right? So the link on Facebook links everybody right up to this page. And now for right here, they register. They fill out their name and they're done. I'm not even involved.
That's where we dropped the ball.
Yeah,
Joanne, we got to do that.
You got to go full circle.
I knew
Okay.
there was.
What's wonderful about this particular program that I use, they can either pay right from there, or they could just register and pay me at the door. They can add numbers of people, up to 6, as many people as they want. And then the minute they register, I get an email. And I don't know
That's
if you guys,
that's really good. We need to we got to up our game. We don't have this right now.
well, if Darby wants, I can run a class on how to just do something like this too. Oh,
This
that
is so
would be
key.
great.
What we have is people respond to us, but then it's tons of phone calls and tons of messages, and it's a
we don't have time for that. I just want to play bridge. I agree. And this taking me out of the loop allows people to do it at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? On a Sunday at 6 o'clock, and nobody wants to have to wait for somebody to call them back, and they lose interest. They lose interest from the time they're interested to the time you call them back. This makes everything go a lot quicker. And in fact, if they really feel like they have to email me, they can email me. If they want to talk to me, they can talk to me. But it's right here and it's available for them. One thing I do want to mention that I thought was interesting about what I do in my club is note that on the same day, here's a class starting on March 6th, I have an intro to bridge, and I have also beginner 1 intro with beginner bidding. My first week always in any one of my 7-week courses is an introduction to bridge. It has no bidding of any kind. It is a playing fun event, and I require my players or my beginner bridge players to at least do that. Now they can book the entire class, all 7 weeks this way, or they could book just that 1 week, see if they like it, and then decide whether or not they would want to add the next 6 weeks. For those people who've already had a little bit of a background on bridge, or their friends have tried to teach them and so forth, they don't have to take the intro. They could just take the beginner bidding course, and that's an option the following week. But this teaser gets people to make decisions very quickly because it's cheap. I charge $30 for them to come in for a 2-hour workshop, generally people convince their husbands and friends and larger groups to do something like this, thinking that, you know, they're just going to try it and see, you know, maybe they're not really interested, but it'll be fun. It's something different. It takes the place of going bowling or going out to eat with your friends one night. And generally,
or painting and drinking wine.
What's that?
I said, or painting and drinking wine.
Exactly. And by the time I'm done in 2 hours with them, I've converted them and they're interested and now they want to do bidding. And what's great about it also is it weeds out the people who really don't like or won't like bridge right up front, so that for the next 7 weeks, the people that I'm working with are really dedicated. And if you've ever taught bridge, you know that half the battle is getting them to be interested enough to read in between the classes and to come to every class and to really invest themselves. So this is how I weed them out as well. It's how I catch them and how I weed them out. All right, guys. Well, if anybody has any other questions, Darby's going to share my email address with all of you. And you are welcome to contact me on the phone if you have a question and you want to call me, please do so. And I'm happy to do this again.
Thank you so much, Silvana, for taking time to show everybody all this. And I will email everybody and give you Silvana's address. And also, you know, I would really like for you to let me know if there's other things that you want to have a lesson like this on, because I think that this was really good today, and I've enjoyed this, and I hope everybody else has too. Silvana, do you see Kevin's question in the chat? He asked if you've ever tied this to like a Learn Bridge in a Day session.
My intro class is a Learn Bridge in a Day.
Okay, so that's kind of like your 2-hour intro.
Yeah, I'll just go to the page and I'll explain it. So here's my intro to Bridge. It says it's a fun, interactive, introductory workshop. It is basically Learn Bridge in a Day. I used to do it in 3 hours. I found it was too long. People were getting frustrated and annoyed. 2 hours is plenty of time to have them have fun and get them kind of hooked and make a decision on whether or not they want to keep going. But I don't do that full 6-hour workshop, Learn Bridge in a Day, because they still have to learn how to bid. And when you do 6 hours or 7-hour course like that on a full day Saturday, and at the end they find out that they really can't play bridge, I think that actually kind of angers people. So I try to avoid it. I think that's best for the big regionals and clubs where, you know, you have a high foot traffic, but I don't have that. So I have got to really make sure.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. And I've definitely tried. I've recorded this, and I've never done this before, so we'll definitely try to get it posted where everybody else can see it again. Thank you.
That'll be great.
All right.
Good luck to everyone. 7-0 Trump.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.